This will be a complete breakdown of moths in Grounded. I'm going to show you all 5 moth locations and show you the easiest path to get there. I'm going to explain all the moth attacks and how to easily defeat them. I'll also go over the gear set you can craft when using the moth parts. So thanks for tuning in. This is the life of a gamer. So first, where are the moths located? There are 5 spots where the moths appear. Now, once you get any moth parts, you can then go ahead and use a resource surveyor to locate all the moths located in Grounded. So searching on Moth Fuzz, you'll see that all the moths are located on the northeast side of the map. But if you didn't analyze any moth parts, they won't appear in the resource surveyor. So first, I'm going to start with the easiest path to get to the moth. I'll list the moth locations by easiest to hardest to get to. So the first area where you can find a moth is here by this log. Checking out the map, you'll see I'm starting at the northeast side of this log, and the moth will be on the top left side of this log. So I'm basically starting on top of this tree root, and you can follow this path to the moth. So you want to go up the log here. Now walk carefully here. And then you want to jump on this piece of wood. Now, if you fall, it's okay, because you can always come back or save right before a difficult jump. I have fallen many times because all the moth locations require some parkour. Now, just follow the path I'm going. And here, you can jump on the edge of the log. Now here, you want to jump into this small crevice, and then walk along here. And then drop here. And then get on this mushroom and then hop up here. And the moth will be right up here. Don't forget to equip a dandelion tuft when jumping down. So the next location of the moth will be in this area. So on the map, I'm on the northeast side of the map, and the moth will be south of here. I'm starting out on this ladder, and you'll see a pine cone over here. You want to run up this log stump. Once you're here, you want to jump on this leaf, then hop here. Now this part looks really steep, but you can walk along this path up here. And then hop up here. And then hop up here again. Now once you're here, you want to hop on this ledge here and keep hopping up. And just hop right here, and here's the moth. Now for this moth location, you need to do some building and need a ranged weapon or pebblets. So on the map, the moth is located on top of the castle on the east side of the map. Now once you build a path, you want to run to the top of the castle.
You gotta put your past behind you. Look, kid. Bad things happen, and you can't do anything about it, right?
Once you're here, you want to go up these stairs.
You turn your back on them.
You want to go ahead and kill the mosquitoes in the area because they will get in the way. Then continue up the stairs.
Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Now once you're here, you want to jump on this spot here and then jump up here. Killing another mosquito, then head over here to spot the moth. Go ahead and jump up here and continue this way. So once you're here, the moth is located right on top of here, as you can see. Now using a ranged weapon or pebblets, you want to try to hit the moth from here. It may take several tries until you hit the moth. Once you hit the moth, it will fly down and you can go ahead and fight it. And there you have the location of a moth in this area. Now for the next moth location, it'll be right here on the map. I am basically in front of the pond. In the distance, you will see a garden light. The moth will be on top of there. So I first started out near this leaf sticking out. There are several of these leaves sticking out, so I'm at the one right in front of the garden light. And behind me is the oak tree. So first, start heading towards this way. Now, once you're here, you want to jump on this leaf and keep heading up. Now just keep jumping up the leaves and move toward the garden lamp like so. Jump on this leaf and then keep jumping up these leaves till you get to the garden light. Now, as you can see, the moth will be right here. Now, the final moth location will be the most difficult to get to. So, pulling up the map, you want to start here, north of the wheelbarrow. Now first, you need to head to those branches over there. Once you're at these branches, start heading up them by going this way. Now you want to go around here, so jump on this leaf like so. Then jump back on the branch and continue up. Now once you're up here, turn around and you want to get on this leaf over here. Then you want to do a run and jump over here to this leaf. Now you want to get to that brown leaf over there, so hop up here and go around over here. Now once you're on this brown leaf, you want to hop on this edge. Now I recommend saving here because going forward it will be more difficult and I have fallen many times. So then duck here and walk along here. Now once you're here, you want to stand back up on this dip. Then you want to do a quick run and jump to this leaf. And keep jumping over to the next leaves. Then once you're here, you're going to go down one leaf below. Then over here, you want to do a run and jump to this leaf. Hop up to the leaf above, then keep going up the leaves like so. Once you're here, you want to duck so you can get over to this ledge. Hop on this ledge and run across. Hop down to this leaf and make your way towards the wheelbarrow by jumping on these leaves. Once you're here, jump on this branch and make your way toward the wheelbarrow. Hop down and the moth is located right here. And a quick note, a field station is up over there as well. Now, let's go over the moth's attacks and strategies to defeat the moth. Now, the moth is a neutral creature, and here are its weaknesses and resistances. Okay, so first, what equipment is needed? Now, moths aren't difficult bugs to deal with once you know their attack pattern, so any weapon or armor will be fine. Now, what will help will be a toxicology badge, which will help with the moth's dust attack. And you will also need some healing items because the moth will cause bleed damage that you cannot avoid. So, since a moth is a neutral creature, it won't attack you until you attack it first. The moth is sleeping at all the locations, and once you attack it, it will do a dive attack, so get ready to block. The moth only has two sets of attack, a one-hit dive attack and a ranged dust attack. And it will repeat, the dive attack and then the dust attack. Now, when it does a dive attack, you want to block it, and the best time to attack it with a melee weapon is right after the dive attack. You can then switch to a ranged weapon and attack the moth when it does the dust attack. You can't block the dust attack, and the dust attack will do a small knockback to you. So be careful, because the small knockback from the dust can knock you off the ledge at some locations. Now the dust attack will also give you 3 negative status effects unless you have some protection from it. So getting hit by the dust attack, you will get negative movement speed, which makes you run slower, negative attack speed, which makes you attack at a slower rate, and bleed, which deals damage over time. Now equipping the toxicology badge, it removed 2 of the 3 negative status effects. It removed the negative movement speed and the negative attack speed, but the bleed will still be there. So the healing items will combat the bleed. So now let's use different sets of equipment and strategies to defeat the Moth.
Strategy 1. The simple, heavy tank, shield master, basic attack strategy.
So I'll show you a very easy and simple strategy to defeat a Moth. With this equipment, you will take the least amount of damage. So for this strategy, I'm going to use any one-handed weapon so I can equip a shield. So a termite axe will be fine because most people will have this weapon at this time of the game. For the shield, I'm going to use a fire ant shield, a toxicity badge to help with the dust, and the roly-poly armor set, a tier 3 heavy armor so I can be super tanky. So first attack the sleeping Moth. Then get ready to block the dive attack. Then attack the Moth after the dive attack. It will then do a dust attack. You can switch to a ranged weapon at this time to do some extra damage. Then switch back to a melee weapon or shield when it does a dive attack to block. Then attack. Then get ready for the dust attack and repeat. Now, you don't need a ranged weapon as you can just use a melee weapon and attack it once it does the dive attack. And also heal once in a while if your health gets low due to the bleed. And make sure you're not standing by a ledge where the Moth's dust attack can knock you off. You can always jump down to a safer location if you think the area you're at is too small. But don't jump too far down because the Moth will not follow you at some point. And then repeat the process of blocking the Moth's dive attack and then attacking. And there you have it. That's basically one of the easiest ways to beat a Moth. And don't forget to equip a dandelion tuft before jumping off so you won't die due to fall damage.
Strategy 2. The Mega Elemental Wizard Moth Terminator strategy.
So for this strategy, I'm going to use a wizard set. I'm going to use all the staffs, so the sour staff, spicy staff, and mint staff. Using the toxicology badge for the dust guard, wizard hat for the wizard perks, and an assassin's chest plate and an assassin's greaves. And ideally you want to wear light gear with the wizard set because staffs use a lot of stamina. Okay, so let's start the fight using the wizard gear. Now, it looks like the sour staff does a ton of damage and also stuns the Moth. So this is a good staff to use against the Moth. Now let's try out the spicy staff and the mint staff. Now the spicy staff works great against the Moth because it is a ranged weapon and it does pretty good damage. Now let's try out the mint staff. Now the mint staff is not too great because it's short range and basically the only time to hit the Moth is after the Moth's dive attack. And there you have it. The wizard has terminated the Moth.
Strategy 3. The ultimate ninja assassin Moth destruction technique strategy.
So for this strategy, I'm going to destroy the Moth as fast as possible. So for the weapon, I'm going to use a sour battle axe. I'm going to first use a dandelion tuft to get to a safer location, then equip the toxicology badge, and I'm going to wear the assassin's gear set for additional crit chance. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to jump down here for a safer spot so I don't get knocked off by the Moth's dust attack. Then I'm going to equip the toxicology badge for the dust guard. So let's see how fast we can assassinate the Moth. And when you get the chance, heal up the bleed damage from the Moth's dust attack. And just like that, the Moth has been destroyed by the ninja assassin.
You're that ninja.
Now this is all the Moth parts I got from killing 5 Moths. I got 15 Moth fuzz and 3 Moth scale. Now with the Moth parts, you can craft the Moth armor set. Now the Moth wrap requires 2 Moth scale, 3 Moth fuzz, and 5 lint rope. The Moth robe requires 5 Moth fuzz, 3 pupa leather, and 5 lint rope. And the Moth leggings require 4 pond moss, 4 Moth fuzz, and 2 pupa leather. So killing all 5 Moths, you should have enough Moth parts to craft the whole set. Now, if you're missing some parts or you want to make additional Moth equipment for a friend, the Moths will respawn within 3 to 4 days, so you can grab more Moth parts. Let's go ahead and equip the Moth gear set. This is what the Moth gear set looks like. Now, equipping the Moth gear, you get the perk Ranged Cut, which gives bow and staff attacks a chance to apply an additional bleed to enemies. The Moth gear is a light armor set, and the Moth gear set bonus is Wind Run, which will increase your movement speed when landing ranged attacks. Now, if you upgrade your Moth armor and go the sleek path, you get an additional perk called Jumpstart, which attacks with bows and staves have a chance to instantly restore some stamina. Now, since staves use a lot of stamina, the Moth sleek path will be really good with staves. So now let's test out the Moth armor using the Sour Staff, Spicy Staff, Mint Staff, and the Black Ox Crossbow. So let's fight this wolf spider and test out the Moth armor. Now, using a ranged weapon, you can see I got the Moth armor set bonus perk Wind Run, which allows me to run faster. So right here, it looks like I restored some stamina due to the perk Jumpstart from the Moth armor, and I got the bonus perk again Wind Run, and now I am super speedy like the Flash. So this is what it looks like with the Moth armor set in action, but I'm not noticing any bleed, so it may be very minimal. The wolf spider has been defeated. So thanks for checking out this video on a complete breakdown of moths and grounded. More tips, tricks, and tutorials to come, so stay tuned. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you enjoyed it, sub if you're excited to see what's next. But of course, go out there, keep grinding, and always stay grounded.